Arts Council Gala event this evening. Thank you very much for being here. We're going to have plenty of time this evening to get back out to the silent auction in a while and live auction later on. But to open the event, I'd like to present the President of the Arts Council Board, Mr. Richard Anderson. Many of you know him as a local college professor. Richard?
Thank you, Butch. Well, on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Arts Council, I want to welcome you all here this evening. We're very thrilled that you're all here. It's a very special event. And this is a special evening for us in many ways, and special thanks to our wonderful champions. And you're going to get to meet them tonight as they make their presentations. And some of you may know we are celebrating 30 years as an Arts Council in Monterey County. And over these 30 years, we have definitely decided that the arts are the answer for most of the problems in society. And these champions are absolutely wonderful examples of good citizens in the community and what they do to help the community develop. All of tonight's proceeds for the silent auction, the live auction, the wine auction will benefit our program called Professional Artists in the Schools, where we put artists to give art lessons to the students. And we have 20 elementary schools on the waiting list waiting for us to put artists in their schools. And I think that's fantastic. And, you know, we hope you have a wonderful evening. And before I leave, I want to pass the mic on to a very, very special lady who's the Secretary of the Board of Directors of the Arts Council, is also the chairperson who organized tonight's evening. So I want to present you Ms. Lynn Debo. Please give her a hand.
Thank you, Richard. As the chair of this event, I have the honor to make a very special presentation. And this presentation is You're Simply the Best, recipient of the board's board's extra special thanks to Nadine Anand, who is it's a recognition of a lifetime of volunteer service to the arts. And I had hoped that Nadine could be here tonight. But for those of you who don't know Nadine, she has been volunteering all her life, and she is 97 years old. And so I will be giving this presentation. Do we have the executive director from PG Arts here? If so, come up. We'll make sure this gets to her. I'm assured that she's perfectly fine, but she doesn't do late night evenings. Frankly, I think she's probably volunteering somewhere.
Just this summer, the Al Center for the Fine Arts celebrated 25 years of service to the people of East Salinas. Throughout these years, the center's teaching artists and volunteers have been completely dedicated to their mission to foster a sense of creativity, empowerment, and leadership among youth, and to nurture a vibrant community through the fine arts, instruction, and community events that highlight cultural heritage. Through many of its first 25 years, the Al Center for the Fine Arts was housed in temporary spaces, often changing locations, but never losing sight of its commitment to free classes to the fine arts. Today, the center has a beautiful, flexible, and more permanent home on the North Sanborn Road in Salinas, where it can offer even more classes and more opportunities. Al Center for the Fine Arts, we salute you for your exemplary dedication to the arts, the community, and to our young people as our 2012 Champion of the Arts nonprofit organization. Congratulations.
Thank you. Local talent solves local problems. You need perspiration to match the inspiration, and that's the story for the Alisal Center for the Fine Arts. We began 25 years ago when students and teachers from Alisal High School did performances to raise money. They wanted a cultural center in East Salinas, and they got it. The Salinas Rotary Club enabled us to become a nonprofit. That was back in 1986. We have been offering free arts classes in a variety of disciplines in East Salinas and throughout Monterey County ever since. It's amazing what a few good people can do when a lot of people act to help them, and I want to thank all of you here for that. We now offer free art classes to approximately 600 students every year, and they're mostly young people, but a lot of them are not so young, and that's fantastic as well, as any of you would know. Each year our students perform for thousands of people at events like the following: Monterey First Night, Salinas Arts Summit, Caminos del Artes, Salinas Art, Music, and Car Show, the part you want to see. Exhibits with King City's, Soul City's treasures. Thank you, Sonia. Intimate bilingual poetry nights, Second Fridays live at our own place, Alisal Center for the Fine Arts. And with Ramon, he leads them to the Berkeley World Folk Festival every time he gets a chance, which is about every 2 years. It's a lot of fun, it's a lot of work. We're joined tonight by Alisal Center for the Fine Arts board members. Dana Hellman, George Neeson, a great man and kept us going all those years. They make sure the arts are available to young people and their families. Our instructors make our program great. Ramon Silva is a product of Salinas schools. His fine art degree, keep going, from UC Santa Cruz 18 years ago allowed him to create the region's premier folklorico dance troupe, Tonadua, Danzante del Quinto Sol! And also Tonatitos, the children's folk group. Jose Ortiz leads about 50 visual artists, Hijos del Sol. Mr. Ortiz is creating an arts academy in East Salinas. His great murals are seen at Natividad Hospital and throughout the valley. Our world pop class instructor, Gemma Sanchez, leads about 45 elementary to high school dancers who perform everything from river dance high reels to belly dances. This is the world of world pop. I think we should move on to tell you that we now are packing our hall 3 times a week with over 100 people doing Zumba dances. We are trying to create art for the people while we eliminate obesity and diabetes. Just a quick thank you to the people who have helped us out. Hartnell College with its theater program, our great friends Orlando Castro, Armando Sarabia, who created folk transgenerational ensembles of guitarists, and now we're joined by Cristela Pulido, BA Fine Arts, San Jose State, June 2011. I want to thank the City of Salinas, Hardin Foundation, David and Lucille, Packard Foundation, Community Foundation, James Irvine Foundation, Hartnell College Foundation, hold on, she's going to give, the music is playing louder now, Monterey Peninsula College Foundation, Monterey Peninsula Foundation, Sally Hughes Church Foundation, thank you Butch, Arts Council for Monterey County, Univision in Spanish, Northridge Mall, Yellow Brick Road, those are good people, Monterey County Weekly, and Art is the Answer. Changes lives and solves many problems. Thank you so much.
Julie Dresner with the Community Foundation for Monterey County, and I am honored to introduce our next champion, Marty Clavel. You saw her art. She's an amazing artist. Her paintings are truly exquisite. She draws you in and helps you see the detail, the nuance, the beauty in everything and every being. Animals are inspiration for her art. She often puts down hundreds of layers of paint, spends months using a fine brush with 1 or 10 1 to 10 hairs to achieve realistic fur, whiskers, texture. And with her exacting approach, Mari's talents and passion lead us to view our own habitat with more awareness and compassion. Mari is also the founder of Friends, Artists, and Neighbors of the Elkhorn Slough, which is also called FAN. This is an association of citizens committed to preserving and enhancing the Elkhorn Slough and its watershed through public education, advocacy, and activism. We're fortunate to have in our community an artist of this stature and quality who dedicates herself not only to her art but also to the protection of one of Central Coast's most precious resources. Please join me in celebrating the enthusiasm and commitment of Marty Bell, our Champion of the Arts 2012 as professional artist.
Well, thank you so much. I am completely honored to be receiving this award tonight. And all my life, I've had two main passions, and that is art, making art, and especially in the last 20 years, painting and drawing, and also the natural world and the animals that live in it. And I've always known that that my life somehow must combine the two. And for the last 20 years living in Monterey County and living in the Elkhorn Slough watershed has provided that opportunity to combine the two. And so living in the Elkhorn watershed has been an inspiration for so many paintings of the animals that live there and swim there and fly there. And it's also given me a sense of responsibility to help take care of it. And so my husband and I founded the organization about 12 years ago, and still going strong. And so Friends, Artists, and Neighbors of Elkhorn Slough fans. So it's truly an honor to be receiving this award tonight for both efforts, both my art and this other effort with environmental protection. And I thank you. And I especially want to thank the volunteers and staff of the Monterey County Arts Council who provide these important programs to Monterey County. So thank you so much. Have a nice evening.
It is indeed an honor and a pleasure for me as a supervisor of Monterey County for District 3, which includes the Salinas Valley all the way down to San Luis Obispo. Tonight I have the honor to introduce Sonia Chapa, which was a lady that I have gotten to know and meet and seen the great work that she's doing down in South County in the King City area. Sonia Chapa brightens every room she enters. Every day she is making her community and our world a better place through her efforts. Tonight we especially salute Sonia for her volunteer work and especially her leadership. As a volunteer, Sonia played an essential role in the successful Mi Planeta Mio partnership between the Arts Council and the Monterey Bay Aquarium and children in the Salinas Valley that produce works you see on display here tonight. Just 4 years ago, she established Soul Treasures, now a vibrant arts and cultural enrichment center in the heart of King City, which continues to improve and expand and still serves on the board of directors and wears many different hats. Sonia, because of your commitment and boundless enthusiasm, our children have a greater sense of joy and our families have a greater sense of hope. So we thank you. And I know Butch is around here and Butch understands the importance of us down in South County, extending a heartfelt thanks and appreciation for those that recognize. When Sonia talked about coming up here and seeing the works displayed from King City residents, why not bring this down to our area down in South County? And so for that, we want to thank her and say thank you. And please welcome and thank Sonia Chapa, our volunteer champion of the arts for 2012.
Thank you to the Arts Council for honoring me as champion of the arts volunteer leader. When I reflect on what has led me to receiving this honor, I recall only gratitude, tremendous thankfulness for all the people that are in my life an appreciation for the places life has led me to, and a celebration of all the experiences I have been able to learn from. It is all of this that inspired me to become a leader in the arts in our community. Receiving the Champion of the Arts Award is such an honoring experience. Thank you to the many who have made this possible. Many pillars of support have been made this possible for me. My husband, my family, friends, Barbara Peckema, Bruce Graham, fellow founders of Soul Treasures, the board members, and our amazing volunteers of Soul Treasures, and all the funders and everyone that has helped us at Soul Treasures. I am pleased to be Champion of the Arts volunteer leader, serving our youth in Monterey County. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jane Parker. And I am here to introduce and talk about one of our other recipients of the honors tonight. And I just want to take 30 seconds to say that in addition to being here every year just to honor the creativity and work that all of you artists and supporters of the arts do all the time, every day. I'm here as a special friend to Mari Kleppel, who is such a fantastic artist, and who also, as all of you artists do, make the time and take the energy to put yourselves out there as political beings. Mari has taken her talent and her commitment and her passion to fight for the Elkhorn Slough. And you know, as artists every day, that there are struggles that you engage with to make sure that the people you care about, the causes you care about, the animals and landscapes and interior spaces that you paint and dance about and make possible every day, that those are also part of your political action. And I just want to thank you for all of that. I get to present an award tonight to Enid Baxter Blader. She is an instructor at the CSUMB campus, and as you will be able to see when she comes out here in a couple of minutes, she is a whirlwind of energy. She is a center of creativity. Enid Baxter Blader works with the CSUMB's Teledramatic Arts and Technology Department. I don't even know what that means, right? So one of the things that's great about that is that she is really bringing a kind of expertise, and she is drawing big names and people who are talented in this area, whatever it is, into our area and into the experience of students at CSUMB. Graduates of the program are really making a name for themselves. They're rising very quickly through the professional world in our area and throughout the state and throughout the nation.
She, through her efforts, is putting Monterey County really on the map as a place for creative endeavors. She also has been instrumental in bringing the magic of filmmaking to the lives of hundreds of young people in migrant education programs, juvenile justice centers, and offering them new possibilities and serving as a vehicle to eliminate and heal. And you will see in your program some of the places where she has worked. Migrant education, as I mentioned, Rancho Cielo, Imagine College, some whole set of alphabet letters that I don't know, but you know that there are students who don't do all that well necessarily in school, but if they can find an artistic medium, they thrive. And Enid Baxter Blader is putting those opportunities in front of young people at the college level and also at-risk high school students. She's always looking to expand her connections, opportunities, and impact so that these programs can continue to evolve and improve and reach further into the community. Over the years, Enid has earned wide acclaim as a painter, in addition to this technical area that I don't understand, a painter, a filmmaker, a musician, and a teacher. We are so fortunate to have young, talented women like Enid Baxter Blader in our community, and please welcome her and thank her for being one of our champions of the arts.
You know, people who are artists don't usually win trophies, so this is really exciting. I am so grateful to the Arts Council for giving me this award. It makes me feel, and my daughter feel, so welcome to this community, and I can't express my gratitude to you all. And I'm so glad that I live here and that I get to be a part of everything you do. And I feel like I need to take a moment to talk to you about what teledramatic arts and technology means. So let me just deviate from the speech that I barely wrote and say that teledramatic arts and technology was founded by Luis Valdez, who many of you have heard of, outside of Campesino. Yeah. And he created this vision of having many different forms of expression experienced in one department. And my colleagues and I have figured out that we spend an average of 19 hours a year trying to define it for people. But our students go on to get their films into Sundance and London Film Festival and many, many international venues, and they go on to graduate degrees in the arts, in film, and in education. So in shorthand, we're the film department that you've been hearing so much about. So I really want to thank the Arts Council, Paulette Lynch, and the reason that I'm going to continue to thank a lot of people is in order for us to do the work that we do, it just takes so many people. And so there's hundreds of people involved in creating what one of our reviewers recently called Stone Soup. We're happy to do it. CSU Monterey Bay has allowed us to have this visionary space to do this experimental learning that happens in the real world under the leadership of Diane Harrison, Catherine Cruz-Uribe, who's here, our provost, Dean Eileen Feynman. I'm incredibly grateful to all of them for giving us the space to do this kind of experimental learning. Also here from CSU Monterey Bay, and the co-director of the Monterey Bay Film Society, which we founded, is Chris Carpenter. Many of you know him. Our other board members, Jeff Couch, Julie Howe, Joanne Storkin, Megan Heath, who is a partner in so many ways for everything we do, and also was a champion of the arts last year. Thank you, Megan. Thank you to Debbie Howitt for having the vision to connect many of these people together. I can't express my gratitude to you. I also want to thank Rebecca Barrymore for kind of getting the Monterey Bay Film Festival going, which we founded about 5 years ago, and everyone at the Monterey County Weekly for getting it going. Walter and Adam, thank you so much for writing about us. A lot of our partners for the projects we do also are in the military community. Cameron Binkley, Lisa Crunk, people in environmental groups like the Watershed Institute, and institutions like the Monterey Bay Aquarium. so many partners come together to help our young people create media. And you know, we're living in a media world, so thank you all so much. I was going to say, you know, I have the best job in the world. I teach young people how to make movies in the Central Coast of California, and I really look forward to working with my students to help tell all your amazing stories for many years to come. Thank you so much.
All right, I want to thank you guys all for coming tonight. I greatly appreciate your attendance. Janine and I go to a lot of events, but annually this is my favorite event because it's non-political. You know, we're an incredibly rich community from a resource standpoint. 1,100 miles of coastline in the state of California, 15 coastal counties. And there is no county that is better blessed with natural resources than we have. But one of the things that goes under-recognized in this county is our personal resources. Those people that care enough to volunteer, to participate in this community, to make an organization like the Cultural Council work, to take of their own personal time and say, you know, we've got some things in this county that really, really are special. I mean, we're Steinbeck's Pastures of Heavens, we're Robertson Jeffers Grace Meeting of Land and Sea. We are an incredible community, whether it's music, whether it's the arts, whether it's the written word. We are a place to live and celebrate, and this organization does it very, very well. But one of the things that we forget occasionally is that people that give of their time, they give of their effort. There's a group out there that also gives and contributes financially to make these things happen. I can tell you that I am extremely proud to say that the Del Pieros are not only my friends, but they're the best friends this county has had in ages when it comes to doing the right thing. And that is sponsoring events, making events happen. Teresa's an incredible participant from an acting standpoint. Eric has been out there every single time saying, hey, there's a group coming into town and we need to make sure that they get that venue to happen. It needs a little bit of funding behind it. Del Piero's have been the greatest opportunity we've seen in ages to make this community function from a philanthropist standpoint. They are what we need in this community. It's my incredible pleasure tonight to introduce them as the recipients of the Philanthropist Award for this year. Thank you guys for all you do.
My husband wants me to do most of the talking, but I will make him say a few words. For those of you that know us, we both speak with a loud voice. And when we are at board meetings and committee meetings, we do not hide our voices and we speak our mind, and especially when there are causes that we care about. We want to make sure that our opinions are heard. The one group that was not mentioned in the little video clip that you saw was the Monterey County Film Commission, and there's a large group here tonight from the Monterey County Film Commission. They were really my first introduction to Monterey County and serving this community. I served on the board of directors of the Monterey County Film Commission for over 20 years. And we actually share a little pot of money from Monterey County with the Arts Council and the Monterey County Visitors and Convention Bureau. And it's always, over the years, been an interesting process for us to get money for the Film Commission. And I've gotten to know the Arts Council very well from that association that we've had with them over the years. But right now, both my husband and I are very passionate about the Monterey Museum of Art, and there are quite a few people here tonight also from the Monterey Museum of Art. We appreciate that. Staff, Mike Whittington, and many of the board of directors and supporters of the museum are here tonight, and we're very passionate about the museum. I think the thing that is the hardest for the arts right now is fundraising. And I think that
one of the things that I would challenge all of you to do in this room is to pick a cause. Pick an arts organization that you care about. I think the fact that you're here tonight means that you care about the arts and you're contributing to the arts, obviously by attending. But pick a cause. I think that's what my husband and I have done. We care very much about art causes, and it's evident in the boards that we serve on and the activity that we have. As Dave Potter said, I think more than anything, it's our time. It's the lunches that we don't get to eat. It's the dinners that we don't get to eat, going to meetings. It's the extra effort that it takes to be on a board, to be on a committee, and really serve this community. And I think it's been our honor and our pleasure to do it. And I'm not available to serve on any other boards right now. I'm very busy right now. So please don't ask me to be on your board. I'm currently on the board of directors of the Monterey County Theater Alliance, the Carmel Art and Film Festival, and I'm also the co-chair for Art in the Adobes, which will happen again this year in 2012. So here is my husband to say a few words. And he lets me go to all these committee meetings.
That's why I had her speak first, because there's nothing else much for me to say other than you know, I told a number of people when the award was announced, I really personally didn't think that I deserved it, but I knew that she really does. She really does. And so if I say anything else, it's to echo what Teresa said previously. I'm here to be a cheerleader for the Monterey Museum of Art. Mike Whittington, the executive director, is here tonight. If any of you have ever not been in the museum, you must go. It's a wonderful resource that we have in the community. And again, I thank you so much for the award.
I see what the dictionary says. So I looked it up, and it is a person who is someone who is very inspiring or who is very eminent in their field.
Figure out where it is their purpose and do what they want.
Thanks for having me here. I've never had a tournament before, so I guess I don't have to visit Hollywood anymore. Great. So I want to thank the Monterey County Arts Commission. You know, I came onto the Board of Supervisors 11 years ago. Like anything else, representing District 1 and LaSalle, East Salinas, and also being part of a great city in Salinas, folks will come in and the first thing I ask is, what are you doing for the residents? What are you doing for the children? What are you doing for the families? And when folks talk about the LaSalle Center for the Fine Arts, I remember my first year on the City Council with this big old hammer breaking down the wall with Supervisor and Councilmember Simone Salinas in, making it happen. This evening I've had the privilege is you know, how do we make things happen in life? How do we validate ourselves? What are the different mediums, obviously, today do we do to open up the life for folks where life has never existed before? And the great many folks that I represent, they need the light. They need it through various mediums. And I have the honor and privilege to meet a person today for the first time. And sitting at my table with Mr. Gardner B. Thompson Jr. is, even at 63 years old, no one can tell me it doesn't happen every day or every hour. This great evening tonight is no different. We come in here and we look at where is it safe to be here? Where is it a place to be validated? And how do we get there? And Mr. Garland is, when I looked at him at my table for the first time in my life, he had a big smile. And that big smile represented light for me. And that light has been glowing for the last hour. And he made it happen behind the curtain. He said, I didn't know you were going to introduce me. And the first thing he said is, I asked him, a lot of times for me is, where were you born? And where did you come from, like I did? Because we come from various facets of life, being poor, being rich, being whatever. So I asked him the question. One of the, because of lack of time and opportunity, some of us get to meet folks for the first time this evening. And I met Mr. Garland for the first time in my life, like I said, but I didn't give him an opportunity. So I asked the Salinas librarian, Mrs. Martinez, hey, has this vato ever been to East Salinas? In other words, saying, is this guy resident? Of course, he spends a lot of time in East Salinas in LaSalle. He does. To me, that in itself is a blessing for all of us. And I guess we should welcome him. My better question is, you've also expressed an opportunity to live that opportunity, and we are thankful for you, the city of Salinas and LaSalle. With that in mind, let's thank Mr. Gardner Thompson for that 2000.
I'm usually not at a loss for words. Being a poet and an actor, either they're mine or somebody else's, so they're usually pretty handy. But tonight I do kind of find myself at a loss. This is all very surprising to me, because I honestly, and I've mentioned this to a couple people, I do what I do, and I think that outside of the moment, nobody's really paying much attention. And I do it, and we have a great time, and we have some laughs, and we make some people cry, laugh, etc., and then I go home. And then another project happens, and I just go on like that. And so this was very much a surprise to me to know that you're all paying attention. You truly honor me with your attention, and I definitely have some thank yous. Of course, I must thank the Arts Council for Monterey, and especially Paulette Lynch. We've gone back a few years. I used to work with her first night. She's a wonderful supporter of the Arts Council. You guys know how awesome they are. The theaters in this area, they welcome me, and I'm very happy. Most notably Pacific Repertory Theater and Magic Circle Theater out in Colorado. Wonderful places in formerly. The East Village Coffee Lounge, formerly Morgan's Coffee House, opened their doors to me and said, we want you to keep doing your poetry slam, which is now our 10th year. We've done 10 years every Wednesday night. We're there. Active, teenagers, senior citizens, everybody in between having a great time. So I must thank them. And also on that point, it's called the Rubber Chicken Poetry Slam, an open mic. We give away a real rubber chicken. On that point, I also want to thank two people who work there at the East Village Coffee Lounge. They're there with me every Wednesday night, and they're fantastic. And you probably got coffee from them, and you should thank them the next time you see them. Erin and Aisha, they're two of the wonderful baristas, and they deserve a lot of love because they're with me there every Wednesday, and they make it happen. Yes, I love the baristas. I also want to thank the last couple of years, almost 4 years now, I've had the absolute magnificent, one of the most magnificent opportunities I could have ever asked for, and that is to work with the Salinas Public Library and its superstar, rock star, celebrity in the library world, and just all-out awesome visionary director, Ms. Elizabeth Martinez, who's here tonight. She's given me opportunities to be Supervisor Armenta, yes, I have been to East Salinas many times, and I'm also very thankful to be able to stand up here and rep for Salinas too, and let you all know what an incredible place Salinas is. It often gets a very bad rap in the news, and yes, there are difficulties, but by and large, it is the most amazing place. There are wonderful people there, and the youth there, the teenagers there, the kids, the Muslims, they deserve this happiness for them as well, because they are in trouble. And we're doing our best out there to give them every chance to express themselves, and that's what I do with the Slam every week. I do it, I'm not getting paid, it's not about the money. I do it because I love it, and because the arts have given me a lease on life. When I was down and bad off, the arts was there for me, and it's always brought me up, and look where I am now. It's brought me here in front of all of you, and so please, keep supporting those arts. They're very, 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 very important, incredibly important. And I think a couple more people I just want to thank really quickly who supported me throughout the years and always give me great emotional support. Wonderful artist from Big Sur legend and icon, Stefania. She's an absolute marvel and doll. Yes, she was listening. And the executive director of the PG Arts Center is Jackie Hope, who is also doing much the county has just opened itself up to me. This is, Supervisor Potter, you are absolutely correct. This is one of the most amazing counties in the entire nation, and we are all very lucky to be here. And I know I was asked to keep it brief, which is somewhat usually difficult for me, but I just wanted to once again say thank you to all of you for your support of the arts. What you do, your support, your donations, your emotional support, your moral support, your presence, your volunteering, your phone calls, your letters to the editor, everything you do makes it possible for people like me to do what I do. So that's wonderful. I just want to leave you with one final word. If I can just leave you with a brief poem. Being a beat influence, banter beatifically into a microphone, an amplified avenue through which to reach your ears. Being of sound influence, make sounds with curved lips, form words, to form pictures, to form ideas, to form action. Being of spiritual influence, do ritual and chant incantations for a nation and a world. They spill majestically to act heroically upon receipt. I breathe for my fellow humans through my pores and my fingers. I taste the air with my tongue and write about it. Thank you.
The rest is history. Here we are 50 years later. It's my new CD called A Postcard from California. It's all about this Monterey County. It's loaded. And it's just great. Great to be here.
Pleasure to be here with you tonight. Even greater pleasure to present the Lifetime Achievement Award. And for those of us that are aging boomers, we all came of age with the Beach Boys. The rhythms, the outside, the water, the ocean, the time, it was just time and place in a way that you can't describe to other people. And it is hard to believe that this is the year of the 50th anniversary CD and 50th anniversary tour of the Beach Boys. And that, in fact, last month, the governor inducted the Beach Boys into the California Hall of Fame. So, at
lucky that the winner is located in this area. And I think for those of us that are aging, we watch one other thing, and that is if somebody achieves fame in their youth as an athlete or a stage performer or musician, there's always a question of what they do after that initial fame. And the second act of the honoree tonight has been incredibly impressive. Because as somebody now, Secretary of Resources, I'm trying to bring back salmon, and I'm chair of the Ocean Protection Council. I'm trying to meet deal with renewables and lower climate change and meet those goals. And every single one of those issues, Al Jardine is working on in some way in his current work. He is trying to remind everybody that the Beach Boys were about ocean conservation and clean water and enjoying a lively, complete ecosystem when you drop the surfboard into the water. And he's even done now a solo CD that was alluded to, a postcard from California. And there's one particular song about Don't Fight the Sea that is particularly moving and on point. And he even reworded the end of it to take into account polar bears and what is happening to polar bears in the Arctic. And so, even though it's a Lifetime Achievement Award, he stepped up as a local resident in this chapter of his life in a way that's true to the first part, and I think is eminently deserving of a Lifetime Achievement Award. So please join me in welcoming Al Jardine.
The man here in charge of resources for the state of California. Thank you, John. It's going to be very helpful for this, for keeping our oceans clean and the air pure and the fishes in the deep blue sea. Hopefully are doing okay too. These sanctuary, I guess we have what, 10, 12 sanctuaries in the United States or something like that. And two of them, the major ones, are right here off the coast of California. He's in charge of making sure that we do the right thing. And the song you alluded to, John, Don't Fight the Sea, which is a rather important piece of music, I think, because it's co-written by a Canadian environmentalist friend of mine and sung by the Beach Boys, so I think it has some import in terms of lyrical integrity and also the music. And we're hopefully making a film. I think I have Robert Talbot committed. Thank you, sir, sitting right in table A here with me. Now you're really committed. But when you see his work, you'll understand why. It's just wonderful photography of this local area and on an international scale. It holds up anywhere, the quality of work you do. And so it will help to reinforce the idea of protecting the oceans, and I understand that the sanctuary people are very excited to get started on it, so we're going to get some support from them and from our good friends in the area here. And my friends, the Beach Boys, who are pretty excited about it too. This is our 50th anniversary of singing together, and so this year will be a big year for us, and hopefully for the environment. So, I guess I should thank everybody for coming tonight and making it possible, and thank you for this wonderful, wonderful award. Appreciate it.
Good evening, everyone. It was my privilege 30 years ago to be one of the founding board members of what was then called the Cultural Council for Monterey County. I kind of specialized in startups, I guess, because that was the same year I became the CEO of the Community Foundation for Monterey County. It's been a real treat to see it evolve and spread and become the tremendous organization that you're all familiar with. When we started, it was not a truly county-wide organization, but I know very well that it's now doing important things from
King City and San Arlo, all the way to Castroville, from Marina to Big Sur, and its future looks very, very bright. So I'm delighted to look ahead and not just back. But I am here to introduce something that does look back a bit. We decided, or the Arts Council Board did, to make a brief 5-minute video of testimonials, basically, from people who've been involved with the Arts Council over the years. And it's not intended to be anything other than just a brief summary of what it has meant to some of us. And with any luck, the pontification and bloviation will be kept to a minimum. So can we roll the video, please?
Theater and films, without galleries and museums, without attending performances and meeting artists personally. It's difficult to imagine, isn't it? When I was a young girl growing up in the New York City public schools, I so looked forward to that 3 p.m. bell. No, it wasn't because school ended. It was because arts and cultural activities began. It signaled the beginning of arts and crafts, music and dance, rehearsing for school plays. I was so involved in all of this. Weren't most of us? Now let's fast forward to today's reality of ever-tightening school budgets, of art chorus, or dancing, or learning to play an instrument. We don't want that for our children in Monterey County, do we? No! And nor for our adults, nor for our seniors, nor for any of us. This is the Arts Council's essential mission, to support arts education and concurrently to provide our local artists with teaching opportunities, with forms of employment where they can share their skills, their life experiences, and their passion for creativity. So now is the time for all of you to join us in supporting our programs. You see all those 30s on your tables celebrating 30 years of service. Won't you consider supporting an artist in the schools? You can do this individually, by pairs, or by tables. Won't you support us to ensure the next 30 years of support for the Arts Council from Monterey County? Thank you, everyone. Now please open your hearts and your pockets. We're going to ask you to bid to support $1,000 for a professional artist in the schools to celebrate the 30th anniversary of our Arts Council for all. Thank you.
The first item of the evening is the support of the professional artists in schools. As you saw, and that's an awfully important part of the Arts Council, getting the artists so the kids can have an opportunity to look them in the eye, if you will, and help them out. So we'd like to do as many of those as possible. What we're going to do is start off, if you are able to make a pledge of $1,000 this evening, we'd like to start with that. 500, there's a young lady right over there. I can't, 345 is the number, 345, thank you. Anyone else who can do 500, thank you. 500. As we go along, I'd also like to remind the award winners that we have proclamations from the City of Salinas, from the Monterey County Board of Supervisors, Congressman Sam Farr, and State Assemblyman Luis Aledo that we'd like to present to you after the program, just before we get into the dancing. So we got a $500. Anyone else at 500? How about 250? Anyone who can do 250 for the professional artists in schools? $250. Anyone who can do 250? 250. All right, go ahead.
I think we can, if you want to think about it and contact us later, we'll take those pledges of sponsorship for the schools. It's really important. Let's move on to our next item.
All right, good. The three auction items, we'll start with the Big Sur experience. This is a one-night stay at the Ventana Inn, plus a $150 dining credit, dinner for two at Deacon's Restaurant, four-course dinner for two at the Coast Ranch, and the Beach Boys autographed 7-inch vinyl. Al was so nice to provide us with that this evening. So this is the Big Sur experience. One-night stay at Ventana, $150 dining credit, dinner for two at Deacon's, four-course dinner for two at the Coast Ranch, and the autographed 7-inch vinyl from the Beach Boys. So who'd like to start us off on an overall package? How about somebody start us at $100? Somebody will start us at 100. Yes, 100 there, and how about two? $100 and now two. 100 and now two. We got a $100 bid. How about 200? 100 and now two. Two, yes, two there. 200 and now make it 250. 250, thank you, and now be 300. 250 and now three. 250 and now 300. Yes, 300 and now 350. 300 and now 350. 350. 300 and now 350. 300 and now 350. Who else to be 350? Yes, and now be 400. 3 and a half and now 4. 3 and a half and now 400. 350 and now 400. 350. Yeah, there we are. 400 and now 4 and a half. 400 and now 50. 400 and now 450. 400 and now 50. 400. How about 450? Yes, 450 and now be 500. Yes, 5 and now 5 and a half. 500 and now 50. 550, sir. 500 we have in the back. How about 550? 500 and now 50. 500. How about 550? 500 and now 50. 500 and now 50. Yes, thank you, sir. 550. 600. Yes, and now back your way at 6 and a half. 650. 600 and now. We have 600. How about 650? 600 and now 50. 600. How about 6 and a half? 6 and a half, sir. 600 in the back. How about 650? 650. Anyone else interested? 650. 650. 600 and now 50. 650. Once. Twice. Sold. Good. Oh, we got it right there. 6 and a half. How about 700? We got 6 and a half. And now 7. 700. Yes, and now make it 7 and a half. 750. Don't get the bid just once. 7. Now make it 7 and a half. We're at 700. We need 50. 700 and now 50. 700 and now 750. 700 and now 50. 750. I'll play your game. 750 once. 750 twice. Yes! And now 800. 800, thank you, and now 8 and a half. 800 and now 850. 800 and now 50. 800 and now 50. 800 and now we need 850. 850 once, twice. So for $800, sir. Thank you very much. I can't see the numbers over here, but it's, I'm going to guess 369, is that right? Thank you very much. Great, good way to start. Next up, a weekend Molokai. Molokai Resort Condo, 7 days, 6 nights. Ocean view, 1 bedroom with a kitchen, full amenities. No airfare with this, so that you don't get confused, but I heard on KGO this morning that airfares to Hawaii are pretty cheap. So, this is the Molokai Resort Condo, 7 days, 6 nights, ocean view, 1 bedroom, kitchen, all the amenities, and thanks to Gregory and Leslie's support. So, who'd like to start us off? How about 250 to start this? Anybody interested in Hawaii? Molokai for 250. Yes, 250. Now, how about 300? 250, 300. Thank you. And now 3 and a half. 350. 300 and now 350. 350, yes, that's good for bidding against each other. Now 400, yeah, 400, 350 and now 400, 350 and now $400, 400, we're 3 and a half, how about 400, 350 and now 4. Dave, I assume if you're bidding, you're taking me, right? 350 and now 400, 400, I would too, 400, yes, 400 and now 4 and a half, 400 and now 450, 400 and now 50, 400 now 450. 400 we have. How about 4 and a half? 450. 450, thank you. Now take 500. 450 and now 500. 450 and now 500. 450, now $500. 450 and now 500. Anybody else interested in 5? 500. 4.5 and now 500. 450. How about 500? Anybody else at 5? 450 and now 500. 500. 500 once, twice. So, 450. Young lady right there. Thank you. 359 is the number. 359. Thank you. And our last item of the evening. Some kind of white or someone like that.
Here they come.
There we go. There we go. What a great quilt for doing justice.
Yeah, what I'd like to tell you is that this program, that this is the result of, is a collaboration between, from Salinas, from South County, many of whom have never seen the ocean, much less never been to the aquarium. They've never even seen the ocean. They bus them to the aquarium with, usually with some, how to save the ocean, conserve, and then they do an art project. And they, in this last go-around, they did silk painting. So they painted the sea animals that they saw on silk, pieces of silk. The best ones were created into the silk, and the quilt artist, you have to look at the detail on this. The stitching is in the form of kelp, and this is the actual kelp forest at the aquarium, if you're familiar with it. So it's...
How about 5? Yep, 500 now we get 1,000. $500 and now 1,000 on the quilt. How about $1,000 on the quilt? $500 we have. How about 1,000? How about yep, $1,000. Thank you. Now 1,500. 1,000 and now 15. 1,500. 1,000 and now 15. Yes, 1,500 and now 2,000. 1,500 and now 2. $1,500 and now 2,000. 2,000. Thank you. We'll get right back with it.
Everybody, I'm so glad you're all here. So I happen to be the teaching artist on this project. I'm also a professional artist in school as an educator. I'm the one who gets to go hire the teachers and then go into the schools. So this is a first grade class, and they learned silk painting, and they learned all about ocean conservation, and we were able to make this beautiful quilt. And many of the students got to go to the aquarium. And really, the whole idea of conserving the ocean is something we all need to be aware of. So one thing, if you'll notice on your tables, there's a little seahorse, and that is a gift from 350 students throughout the county who know all about ocean awareness and ocean conservation, and they made those for you, so please take them home. And this quilt is one of a kind, because there'll be second graders next year.
Maybe we'll have to do it. Thank you. Thank you. So we're at $2,000 bid on the quilt. How about 2,500? 2,000 now and 25. Yes, 2,500 and now 3,000. 3,000, yes. How about 35? 3,000 and now 3,500. 3,000 now 35. 35, 3,500, yes, and now it's at 4. $4,000, we need 4,000, yes, 4,000 we have. $4,000, anyone else? 4,000, anyone else interested in the quilt? We have 4,000, we'll take it easy, make it 4,100, 4,100, 4,000 and now 41, 4,000 and now 4,100, 4,100, anyone else at 4,100? We've got 4,000. 4,100, 4,100 once, 4,100 twice. Sold for $4,000. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. This lovely quilt piece of art is going to end up at the aquarium. Bidder number 2 on exchange. Just hang on just a moment. And the last one. The mayor of Greenfield and the pro tem mayor of King City, Mr. John Peckelman. John Peckelman.
So that's raffle prize number 3.
Now, then, according to my list, it says here, everybody get ready to start dancing.
Richard, We'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight and supporting youth arts education. We hope you had a great time. We certainly had a good time putting this on for you.
Next year's going to be bigger and better. Please all come back. And where's my son? He won that wine. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. And I want to thank all the board members and the community who support the arts and the Arts Council. Thank you. Let the music begin.
Thank you very much, ladies.
Want to do right there. Way to do the things, way to do the things, way to do the things, way to do the things you do. As big as an arm, or you could have been a flower. You could look for a minute, or you could have been an hour. Way you stole my heart. Baby, you're so smart. Got a smile so bright. All you could have been a candle. Hold you so tight. All you could have been a handle. Way you sweep me off my feet. You know you couldn't come great. Way you smell so sweet. So sweet. I wanna love you, wanna be tight. Yeah, you my